Peace. My check. Is this thing on? Salutations. It is QI unapologetically entering the building. And as we saw, my title states to all the B's and the H's, which H is a 304. Where are the Black women? Now, the purpose of my title and the purpose of this live stream is to point out something known as social conditioning. Social conditioning. When things become a culture or a part of a cultural norm. You know how I'm always saying that people are trying to normalize dysfunctional behavior, or people are trying to normalize different things? Well, referring to Black women or women in general as B's and H's or 304's has become a normality. Why do I say that? Because these days it's like I look around and I even see Black women. These B's, these 304's, these B's, these H's. And in my mind, I'm saying, are they talking about women specifically? Or are they talking about, who are they talking about? Are they talking about women specifically? It's like these B's, those B's, H's. And it's like they are women. They are Black women referring to themselves as B's and H's, 304's. Because you can't possibly think that you could call the next woman a B or an H, 304, and think that that's not you as well. Like they say, when you point one finger out, you got three more pointing back at you. Now, me coming up, that wasn't used in my household. That wasn't used in most of the communities that I frequent. And it's still not. I don't appreciate it because, for one thing, I'm not a B or an H ever. A B is a female dog. A B is a female dog. So to hear other Black women call other Black women, especially a group or a mass, the masses of Black women or the masses of women or women in general, B's and H's, it saddens me. It really saddens me because that's something that's coming from internal. That's something that's coming from that person's self-worth. That's how that person values themselves as a woman. Let me say it again. The people who are utterly yelling out B and H, I have from time to time in a heated argument or debate, and I don't even like it when I do it. It's not something that I frequently like to do because I immediately feel guilt and shame once I do it. But to hear it become normal in like a second language to the point now that nobody's saying sister or nobody's referring to anybody as, barely, like their name, just, speak their name. Because I hear people talking about pronouns. How about you just call them by their YouTube name? You don't have to say she or he. You could basically say that person, or there are so many other ways to get around a pronoun if you do not prefer to call a trans person a she, a trans woman a she, or a trans man a he. There's so many ways to get around it if you're uncomfortable with it. And then if you do slip up, just apologize. Because, one of our rights is the right to identification. And that's not just with the pronouns, that's with, like our racial ethnicities and a lot of different things. And so that's just common respect. I mean, I just made a faux pas. But you don't have to disrespect people to disrespect people, and people now are normalizing disrespect. And almost saying it as though, oh, it's my freedom of speech and it's my right. You never have a right. And under YouTube guidelines, because I also hear people complaining about the flagging, because there is an overwhelmingly massive amount of disrespect happening in these spaces. We are degrading ourselves, especially Black women amongst Black women. And then Black women wonder why you're not getting respect by other races, or you're not getting respect by Black men, because it's what you allow. It's how you allow people to treat you. It's how you allow men to treat you. Men are not going to respect anybody who allows themselves to be doormats. Other races are not going to respect anybody who is who's a doormat, who's not standing up, who's not trying to fight, who's not trying to push forward, who's not trying to do anything for themselves, who's begging, who wants to be taken care of. And Black men especially should not be calling women B's and H's, especially within their own race, because that's their mothers, a representation of their mothers, representation of their sisters, their aunts, a representation of the Black community as a whole. And Black men are supposed to be the providers and protectors. So if they're disrespecting their own women, they're disrespecting themselves. And then they have to wonder, because they came from a mother, why people don't respect them. But, this is a short live just to say social conditioning. And it happens a lot on here because this is a psychological app more than anything. Most of what goes on here is psychological warfare, spiritual warfare, emotional warfare. And I see the warfare in full force. And instead of us using this application to resolve issues, to find out how we can better strengthen ourselves, heal, strengthen the next person, and build better communities, we're doing the exact opposite. So, I just like, this is going to be a really short live stream, because I'm going to try to do another one a little later. I just have to figure out how to go, because it's going to be a message in that as well. The title's going to read one thing. It's going to deal with that one thing. But my message is not going to be what people think. But if you think of yourself as a B and an H, it does not mean, or you think that women don't have value. If you're a woman and you're devaluing women as a whole, then it says a whole lot about what you think of yourself. It says that you have low self-esteem issues. It says that you've probably been socially conditioned to think that because you're a woman, then you're less than. And I don't know how that could ever be, when women are the portals to life. Women are the portals to the next generations. Women are everything. Women have been holding down this planet for centuries, decades now. And women also have been carrying a lot of things on their back. In history, it states that, like in war, they captured the women. Like, basically they put down, once they won or whatever, they put down their flags and they captured the women. Now, you don't have to physically capture anything. You don't have to, because that's the one thing we think. We think that everything is so physical. A lot of us think on a physical level, and we're not thinking on more like an emotional level, psychological level, or a spiritual or mental level. And a lot of things that get done happen mental. Mental is is an essential thing. It's like mind over matter, or I think, therefore I am. Just like with the child, if you keep telling the child they're bad, if you keep telling the child they're ugly, they're going to grow up to think that they're bad or ugly. So you've already destroyed that child before they're able to become an adult. Hopefully they would go through, that's what we call childhood traumas or whatever. Hopefully they'll go through counseling and be able to overcome that. But we do a lot to ourselves psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, even financially, everything. We do a lot to ourselves. The majority of what happens to us happens by the hands of ourselves. And we have to pay more attention to that. If we want better, we have to do better. And it starts at home. It starts within ourselves. It starts with us. It starts with your family. It starts to the people. It starts with the people that you're closest to, or the people you come in proximity to, the people that you're able to speak to. It starts there. So, like I said, this is a very short live stream, and basically, the message is: you think, therefore you are. You are. And so, if you are, if you think that Black women are B's and H's, then it's like, why do you expect anybody else to respect you? And you don't stand alone. Like a lot of, Black people think that too. A lot of Black people think that, oh, they're not talking to me. I'm the good Black. I'm the token Black. There's no such thing. There is no such thing. That just means that you're being used. You're a tool. You're a sellout. That's all that means. But there's no such thing as they look at you differently, or people are going to look at you differently. People are going to look at you the same. So if they're calling the next person that, they're also calling you that. So that was my message of the day. And now I'm going to unapologetically exit the building. But before I do, make sure y'all smash that like button, share if you can. I'd like to thank everybody that came to support me as usual. I'm trying to get back to, I took a little break, had to do some yard maintenance and, some things I got to also still do. But, I've gotten I've knocked a lot out the way. Plus it's been raining and it's wet. But until next time, it is unapologetically QI, unapologetically exiting the building. Peace, love, hair grease, and all that. And I will see you later. Peace.